Welcome to the Alien Probe podcast. Certain Asian and Islamic countries have quite a reputation for unusual laws banning all sorts of things we would normally find harmless. All of us who were brought up in this progressive country have a hard time imagining how some items we tend to use every day are illegal in some places in the world. From food to flowers to colors to hairstyles, you won't believe the things governments forbid in modern days. Just look at children. They are the perfect example of how interdictions work in our minds. When something is forbidden, the interest will only be stirred up even more. Laws are meant to maintain social order. We can all agree that some interdictions are necessary, otherwise the world would go berserk. Sometimes there are clever solutions to certain environmental issues, like when Bangladesh put a ban on plastic bags in 2002. Other countries followed. Some prohibitions have religious backgrounds, others are plain ridiculous. How do they even justify them? Well, the government always comes up with a reason, no matter how crazy it may sound. Today we're joined by Deb. Deb, how's it going?
It's going great, Doug. How are you?
Awesome. Uncle Bill, I should say Dr. Bill, feels like Uncle Bill most of the time, is overseas. He's in Switzerland. Bill's going to try to, he's visiting some friends and actually going to try to, get an interview with Eric Von Daniken of, so I don't know if that's going to work out. So
That would be fun.
So we've,
It's been a long time.
Yeah. How long has it been for you?
It's been months. It's been months of me walking the dog while you and Bill do your thing. And the dog isn't done too happy about this change in procedure.
Well, dogs, they like they have their sense of order where they like things a certain way, and he doesn't like it when you
I've
jump off.
Deserted him.
So we got these weird things that happen. We're going to do news of the weird today, basically. And we're not news of the weird, but just
laws of the
weird. And for the first one, we'll jump into France felt teenagers.
Wait. There's a new law that just came out a couple weeks ago. China now limits children's video game playing to 3 hours a week. Can you imagine your children if that had happened?
That would be enforcing that. They'd be in? You know what's going to happen though? They'll be up in their rooms. Oh, what are the hours?
No, this is China. They can play on 1 hour in the evening on Fridays, 1 hour on the weekend, and then on public holidays they can have an hour. But it has to be only 3 hours a week.
Okay, what I'm saying is they're just going to be in their rooms with the classic, the sheets pulled over.
I think they turn off the internet.
They just turn off. China just says no.
China says no.
China says, no, that's it. All the internet's off, so you can't do anything.
Because you know what happens? Their children will end up like American children.
Yeah, but they have it's video games, right?
Yeah.
So they don't, it's not on necessarily always, though. They can't do the internet thing where they can be interactive, but they can play games on a system. They just can't.
They probably can't. Yeah. Everybody's got a Game Boy, I'm sure, and they can cheat the system. But yeah, China's making laws and keeping these kids in order. You got to go to school. But then in France, they're going to ban ketchup.
Yeah, this is the first of a little pile of these that we've gathered together. France felt teenagers were using excessive amounts of ketchup to the detriment of traditional French cuisine, which is therefore beginning to lose its originality. Yeah, well, French cuisine, you don't want to just throw a bunch of ketchup on it.
You got your escargot, and I need ketchup. I want to put some ketchup. But of course,
I don't know. Have you ever had escargot? No, you might want to put ketchup on it.
No. But no, it's got butter on it. Butter.
That's good. Have you had escargot?
No. But
awesome.
They did give them. You can have ketchup on your French fries.
But that's it.
Yeah, because French fries.
That's the only thing that's allowed. Well, I will. I do have to.
Ketchup is gross.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm out there barbecuing a ribeye. I bring it inside, and then one of the kids. We don't even allow them to have barbecue sauce.
That's
it is on top of the ribeye that I just barbecued.
No.
Yeah.
I'm spending money on good steak. We're not putting ketchup on it. We're not putting barbecue sauce on it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
There's two things allowed: salt and pepper.
What about the 19 most baby names in Denmark? If you live in Denmark, you want an original name for your baby. Tough luck. You have to choose from the list of 24,000 names approved by the government. In fact, the Danish government banned creative names altogether. And if you have a mindset on a name outside the list, you have to make a special request and ask for permission.
Well, duh, because otherwise you have things, kids like Apple and all these weird names that people are giving kids because they think it's funny. It's not funny.
Apple?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, that's what,
Yeah.
One of those
I think you should be able
celebrities'
to. I know you should do, but it's pretty typical in America now to like combine names. Like one half a name from one and one half of another.
It's just hard
and
for
then
the kids because then nobody can pronounce.
Remember when
your
you
name?
used to be able? I mean, you work with the public. Remember? Yeah, you used to be able to. It's John Smith.
You're right.
They call in and then you talk to them and then you write the name down. Today they call in because I work in a phone bank also, and they'll call in and sometimes. Like what?
What is that? Yeah.
How do I spell that? I gotta go to the.
Yeah, I just had a thing.
Check it out.
I just had a whole Facebook post. There was a whole Facebook post about things, and there was one person that's name was actually unnamed baby boy, and these people are in college. Come on, you got to name your children. Name them something that they can pronounce. Is that their
name? Unnamed baby boy.
Somebody gave them the actual legal name of unnamed baby boys.
I'm not amused.
No, you carefully named your children so that they wouldn't.
Well, you always try to when you pick a name, it's like, okay, what's his name that is going to you don't want to get picked on because
because you have to think all the ways they're going to make fun of it.
Yeah. There's some names that I know of right now that I'm not going to mention that are kind of like, wow, I don't know what the parents were thinking of, but I never would have, used that name.
Well, now if you go to, again, we're back in China. They've banned time travel.
What? Whoa! What? Wait a minute.
Well, no, not the actual not time travel itself, but TV shows, movies, and books that focus on time travel, they don't approve of that. They said it tends to show an erroneous image of history, making up myths and false events, and therefore any media revolving around time travel is a target of China's censorship. They don't allow it.
No Back to the Future.
Back to the Future is not now. No, they're not gonna let you watch that.
Oh my God! Oh, here. Baby walkers in Canada.
Those things that put the kid in and they roll around with their little feet dangling out. I was too little because I'm so short. They put me in one of those.
Wait, were you always?
I was born short.
You were short right out of the womb.
That's right. And they put me in one of those, and I couldn't go anywhere. So it was like a trap for me. They could just roll me around because my little feet didn't reach the ground.
They showed delayed motor skills, so you'd have been right in there.
Well, that's probably why clumsy.
Selling them is no longer permitted.
Mm-mm. Have you seen a kid in a walker, and how many years have you seen it?
No, it's been, they have those ones where you put them in the walker, and that just helps them get their legs under them. I don't think it really hinders anything.
I think for me, it was just a way my mother controlled, she just put me in that, and then they would just roll me from room to room.
You wouldn't use your feet? That's one you can use your feet.
My feet didn't reach the ground.
Even in a walker, huh?
No.
There's got to be an adjustment.
Well, she probably liked it that way.
Speaking of children, spanking in Sweden. Remember the old saying, you deserve a good old-fashioned spanking? Well, if the Sweden hear you say this, you might get into trouble. Sure, school spanking should be banned everywhere, but in Sweden, not even parents are allowed to spank their children.
That's nice.
Sweden was the first country in the world to ban parents from physically punishing their children. Other countries followed, and still school punishment is still allowed in 19 American states.
Yeah.
Did they have, when you were growing up, did they have that paddle where you could
I remember that when I was in grade school, but by the time I got to junior high, it was, because by junior high, I went to Catholic school, and you hear all the talk about Catholic schools, people getting hit. By the time I got to Catholic schools, they weren't allowed to.
They had that when I was in grade school. I remember a couple of people that I didn't necessarily hang out with. They got the paddle. I mean, they got, and I think they, right now, if you pull that paddle out, you're liable to get shot by the kid.
Oh no, you'd have parents in there. You threatened my child. No.
It was gone away by the time my kids were in.
Yeah, I heard.
I don't know. My oldest might have had to endure that, but I don't think.
I heard all the horror stories about the nuns, but by the time I got to school, no, the nuns they just shamed you.
Did they really hit you with rulers on your hand?
That's what you hear, but not in my Catholic school time. Now there was no hitting allowed. They just shamed you. Nuns have a way of shaming you. They're very serious.
What's this? The
haggis is a traditional Scottish delicacy. It's a pudding made from sheep's heart, liver, and lungs, because all the parts must be used. For the last 4 decades, it's been illegal in the United States because some food containing sheep lung any food containing sheep lung has been banned.
It should really be illegal because it's gross.
But you can still make it in the USA, but they use whatever the alternative ingredient to sheep lung is. Tofu lung, I don't know. Tofu. Well, they make tofurkey and, so there's tofu hot dogs, so maybe there's a tofu sheep lung. But yeah, you can't. And I'm sure that everybody really wants to make.
It's called haggis.
Huh? Haggis, yeah. Yeah, Mike Myers has a bit about it in How I Married an Axe Murderer. Oh, have you ever seen that movie?
Probably.
Oh my God, it's funny. And then we all know about chewing gum in Singapore. Remember
I've heard.
The kid got beat. That kid got caned. Oh my God, can you even imagine?
It happens to all of us, having a piece of chewing gum stuck in our shoe, or even worse, to our hand when reaching under a table and a chair. Remember that when you go to restaurants, there'd be all kinds of gum under there?
No, gross.
You don't remember that?
Well, I would not
Well, you just don't touch it. Or other public places. Ever since 1992, selling and using chewing gum in Singapore has been illegal. The law was meant to keep the streets and public places clean. It seems Singapore was filled with used chewing gum, from elevators to gum sticking to subway doors, which even caused delays in the subway system. Honestly, there's a lot worse things in San Francisco than chewing gum. I can tell you they should ban.
Yeah,
there's certain things they should ban in San Francisco that.
In Bolivia, they banned McDonald's.
What?
In Bolivia, it is not really a law, but a decision of the people. Bolivian cuisine is all about time, love, and care, and the people actually live by these ancestral laws. Fast food is against their beliefs, so McDonald's stood no chance. During its short stay in the country, almost no Bolivians ate there. Oh man, once they got a hold of those fries, they could really stop.
As soon as the fries and the milkshake.
They can keep their hamburgers, but man, their fries.
They should just have fries.
Yeah, just a big.
Well, then you can't have you can have ketchup there.
Yeah, in Bolivia.
What about yellow clothing in Malaysia? Not being allowed to wear your favorite yellow sweater? What a nightmare.
Oh my God.
And it's just not t-shirts, but everything yellow, from belts to hats to wristbands, even shoelaces. In 2011, the Malaysian government banned the color yellow in clothing because it's the color of the group of opposition activists. The decision was particularly strange given the fact that yellow is a royal color in Malaysia and very popular because Malaysians tend to look good in it.
So you may look good
in yellow. They tend to look good in it.
Well, because they're the olive skin and the...
Oh, is it? Is that it?
Well, yeah, it looks good in yellow. Now, pale people don't look good in yellow. So, those nice darker skinned people
look good in
Oh.
yellow. Well, we're going to get some comments on that coming in.
All right,
ready.
Now, this one's...
I don't know if I could, I don't know if I could talk about this.
Settle. Settle. The main theme in James Cameron's Avatar is people siding with an indigenous population against an imperialist force. That's kind of a common theme in movies,
It is.
Apparently, China did not like the idea so much, they thought of a solution. They banned the movie Avatar in 2D. And since China has no 3D theaters, there's no simple way for the people to watch the movie. So, They can't see Avatar.
Okay, that Avatar is arguably by
Oh, yes.
our
So
producer Robert.
There's been some argues.
There's been okay, let's just put it out there right now. Doug thinks that Avatar is the best movie ever made. Science fiction movie, I should say. It's my favorite movie. I've seen it probably 6 times in 3D. It was the most fantastic movie. Although I've seen it so many times, I can see it for free now on stream, and I don't think I've yet. Have we watched it together? We probably watched it at least once together, and you're like, yeah, I've seen it.
Because I'd never seen it, so I was,
You had never seen it, so we had to do it. So yeah, we're going to let it go at that. China, sorry. When you get here, that's the first thing you're going to do when you get off the plane.
Maybe they can show it to them on the plane.
And they can't stream it, huh? That's interesting.
Oh, I'm sure there's ways to see it.
There's a lot of stuff about China in here. That's interesting.
China makes a lot more laws than America does.
Yeah, they enforce them in the worst way ever. How about jasmine in China?
You mean the flower?
I don't know. What is it? The Jasmine Revolution in Tunisia managed to remove the totalitarian regime in the country through bloody manifestations.
That's the best way.
This inspired certain Chinese protesters. The solution? The Chinese government repressed the protest and also banned the flower. That's right. Jasmine is illegal in China. So all the songs that mention it as well, using the word jasmine, as well as using the word jasmine in text messages. So you just get whoop, whoop,
so because they,
as soon as you get it.
You realize how many words have been used to describe a revolution? Are all of them banned?
In China they are.
Jesus. So no jasmine in my mind. And then Denmark has banned fortified food. That's so weird. The authorities in Denmark believe the citizens consume too much vitamins and too many nutrients. So they banned all fortified food in the country. Yeast-based spreads like Ovaltine. I'm going to have to say... I know
you're having trouble with this Ovaltine being a yeast-based
spread.
Ovaltine for
me is that chocolatey powder that you put in milk.
Maybe it's got yeast. Maybe it's yeast-based.
I don't know. We're going to the grocery store today. We're checking out the Ovaltine. And Marmite and fortified breakfast cereals like Rice Krispies and milk fortified with vitamin D are the main targets. So you can't have fortified foods, in America it seems like everything has some fake vitamins.
Well, Ovaltine's like Hershey's chocolates, demented brother.
It's Nestle's Quick for,
It's for Nestle, I know.
My mom used to buy it. It was...
Yeah, well, we've had it, but it was mostly, we would have the Hershey's. I don't know. We've had Ovaltine, because they put it on like it's some...
It's vitamins.
It's vitamins. It's like, yeah, we don't care about that. We're kids. How about video games in Greece? Another video game thing. Originally, the drastic measure was meant to aim at slot machines and online betting, thus regulating internet betting. However, the law was not clear, with no mention of how to make the difference between gambling games and harmless video games. This led to a person being arrested for playing video games inside an internet cafe. Although a judge declared the law unconstitutional.
It still exists.
Only in Greece would they just unconstitutional. In China, they just arrest you and throw you in jail. That's the law.
The law was there, even if it doesn't make sense. And now in China, yes, we're back in China. It's illegal to reincarnate without prior consent.
Who do you ask?
Sure, this may not seem like a big problem for most of us, but Buddhist monks in Tibet are facing quite an issue. The law was an attempt of the Chinese government to keep Buddhist monks under control, particularly to diminish the Dalai Lama's influence in the region. So without prior approval of the Chinese government, you cannot seek reincarnation. Then again, who's going to check? And when do you have to apply? Is there paperwork? Is there a bureau? Do you submit this online?
I would probably just go ahead and do the paperwork just in case.
Just in case, so when I come back, it's okay.
Yeah, so it's all right.
So when the baby's born, are you reincarnated? Who were you before? And I don't see where they had.
Oh, we have to put in all the people, but Patton would have to just. Oh man, can you imagine? He thought he was. Yeah, I think he had several.
Of course.
St. Valentine's Day in Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Arabian government feels that the celebration of St. Valentine's Day is completely against Islamic beliefs.
Don't tell Hallmark.
So they put a ban on all things related to it, as well as all things red around St. Valentine's Day, from flowers to presents. Ooh, excuse me. This did, however, lead to a flourishing black market.
A black
market
on
with those
red
little
items.
hearts, those little hearts with a name, with a writing on
Dude,
it.
I need to score some conversation hearts. Yeah, but that would mean.
Is it because the guys are cheap? How'd that come about?
What if
the guy's cheap?
What if I couldn't get my cinnamon hearts on Valentine's Day?
The only problem with Valentine's Day is if it comes around somebody's birthday, and then it.
Oh, you mean like mine?
So then you got the birthday, you got Valentine's. It's like being born around Christmas.
Oh, I seem to remember on Valentine's Day, your birthday flowers are still alive, so you're okay.
You're good.
Look at them. Trim those stems down a little bit.
Surprised.
Take out the dead stuff. They'll be fine.
Why do you even let me stay at this house?
Because I got those birthday flowers. What more could I want?
Yeah, they're still fine.
Now,
they lasted a week.
We have. Yeah, they did. Western haircuts in Iran. Oh, that's good. You can't have a Western hair. Most Islamic countries are not so crazy about Western culture. In fact, they would do just about anything to keep people as far away from its influence as possible. They believe there are a few haircuts and hairstyles that are simply just too European. Mohawks, mullets, spikes, and ponytails are illegal in Iran.
Well, whenever you see Iranians, most of the time it's just military guys with hats on, so I can't really tell what the hair's like.
Yeah, well, there will be no mullets. Thank God.
Well, I remember when the kids came home and they had that number 2 blend where it's all shaved on the side. It's just got a little plop, like a mushroom on top of their head.
Oh, God, that's so ugly.
And then I'd ask, did you get half off?
Yeah, you still say that. God. It's just...
I'm not sure if they don't find it funny or they don't get it.
Probably both.
How about the emu style in Russia?
That's emo, not emu. It's not a big bird. It's emo. Oh, now you woke up the dog.
Good news for everyone who hates goth and emo clothing. If you happen to travel to Russia by any chance, you'll be relieved to find that such a dress code has been blamed from schools, government buildings, and just about everything in a public place. Emo kids wear a lot of black face piercings, black hair, and fringes covering half their face. The Russian government feels that the trend is dangerous for teenagers. According to anti-social behavior, depression, and suicide, they even went so far as to refer to the style as a threat to national stability. In 2008, Russia banned goth and emu music, as well as all clothing styles related to the trend.
Yeah, you know what's best to do with stuff like that? Just let the teenagers do it, and then they'll get tired of it, and they'll start doing something else. Really?
Yeah, you're giving them too much.
Yeah, you really don't need to. You need to move up to the...
Yes, well, I just want you to read this before we move on. What's the next one?
Porn featuring small breasts in Australia.
Oh, sorry, I didn't get this one. Actually, I'm happy I didn't get this one, but go ahead.
Did you know according to the Australian Classification Board, the ABC, women with A-cup breasts are not really women.
Which shouldn't it?
It's Australia. They're a little backwards.
The Board of Classification. Okay.
The women with A-cup breasts are not really women. God, if you like watching porn featuring women with small breasts, you secretly love child porn.
Wow.
Sure, laws against actresses that are under 18 starring porn are good. Yeah, that is good that children are allowed in porn. But the ABC feels that small breasts make women look as if they're under 18. While there's no law preventing you from watching porn featuring small cup sizes, the ABC did reject a number of movies solely on the breast size. Oh, wow, they have a board that can approve porn? Wow. The porn board?
Don't even know how to... You ever watch any porn, Deb?
I'm not a big porn fan.
Have you seen any with small breasts?
It's not in America. That's just... If you don't have a boob job, I don't think you're allowed to do it.
I'm like, well, I don't watch a lot of that, but I can remember back in the day. I don't really remember.
But you know, there's there's a
well,
there's
yeah.
a world of the ones
Yeah.
the girls that look like children,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
for the sickos out there that
Yeah,
want to
we-
see children.
yeah.
So
Not really
I think that's
interested in
probably
that.
what they're trying to avoid, the let's pretend child porn.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's my turn. Driving for women in Saudi Arabia. Saudi. Go ahead.
Haven't they? I think we may have gone past this. I think maybe a woman drove in Saudi Arabia.
Just a woman.
Just one woman. Yeah, and they didn't approve, so I guess they're.
Then she died of lead poisoning after that, right? Yeah, Saudi Arabia's patriarchal society, and Islamic law clearly defines gender roles. Sure, there's no written law for preventing women from driving in Saudi Arabia, but still, no authority issues licenses to women.
So there you go.
So far, Saudi Arabia is the only country in the world that prevents women from driving. I will not even comment.
Yeah, I know.
On that.
I know it's not a good world.
Not like might not be a bad idea sometimes, but it's okay.
Wow.
What's this one?
Video game consoles in China. Back in 2000, the Chinese government thought kids in we're revisiting this. It's obviously been an issue for a while. The Chinese government thought kids and youngsters were wasting too much time playing video games, so they decided to just ban game consoles, hoping this would encourage them to study or work harder. Yeah, that's important. Plus, they considered the violent content of these games a potential for moral decay. The law involved restrictions in manufacturing and marketing game consoles. Nevertheless, game console video games are still permitted, which makes the law pretty ineffective. So now is the first thing we talked about was now they've limited it to 3 hours a week. So instead of trying to ban all the consoles, they're just banning the time. And I think they have pretty strict control of your internet access there. So your online gaming is really restricted.
Yeah, because you really need some power to get that. I remember my old boss he called me from China. I was doing something and he calls me and he says, I'm at the top of this mountain and they're selling, they're by the Great Wall of China on the top of this mountain and they're selling laptops.
Oh my
God.
God.
I'm like, oh my God.
That's
funny. Bizarre. I mean, I'm sure they were selling a lot of other things, but
yeah,
it was really kind of creepy.
But then I have to carry it all the way back down?
Yeah, well, that's a little laptop. Just flipping it under your arm.
That would be my thought.
Maybe they'll give you a little backpack, like you see those people like when they're in junior high.
A little backpack.
I know they're coming back for the older. I ended up having to buy one.
If I'm at a farmer's market and I see something when I first get there, I say we're gonna go walk around and get it just before we go to the car because I don't like to carry things. So if I'm on the top of a mountain, I'm gonna say I bet there's another booth at the bottom of the mountain. I'm not gonna carry that thing.
But the top of the mountain laptops might be better.
I don't know. They're going to have to do a lot of convincing to get me to carry something down the mountain. I'm sorry.
Do you have the same model they're carrying at the top of the mountain?
Then I get down there and find out I have to go back up to get that laptop.
All right. How many? In Victoria, Australia, only a qualified electrician is allowed to change a light bulb. It's illegal to change it yourself unless you're a qualified electrician.
But is there a breast size limit on it and stuff? Because it is Australia.
Well, was the breast size thing in Australia?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was China.
No, that was Australia.
No. Was it really?
Go back.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
China doesn't allow porn.
Yeah, they just don't. I don't know.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, but let's go back to this change a light bulb thing. I mean, how do you know the light goes out here? Well, of course, LEDs these days. But who knows who's changing it? You close all your curtains. Wait. What you do? You do like any other illegal thing you would happen to do in your house. You close all the windows. You close all the doors. You get your ladder. You change the bulb.
You know what would fix
I don't want to call an electrician.
What if you can't buy light bulbs?
Yeah, well, you could only to a qualified electrician.
You have to go to the top of the mountain and buy it.
It's kind of like wholesale pool supplies, only to the trade. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know.
Remember the episode of Last Man Standing when they were trying to get the last of the
incandescent bulbs, and they were doing it like they're doing a drug deal in the back of the dock.
It's going to be like that. See, maybe only an electrician can buy light bulbs.
All right.
I'm going.
Yes.
I just want to go down to the grocery store.
Yes. Everything. Remember, our tagline is everything weird, and everything here is pretty weird. So, what do you got here?
In Milan, Italy, by law, everyone must smile at all times, except during funerals or when visiting a hospital. If you don't, you have to pay a fine. Imagine you're at a funeral going, you have to smile.
I could write tickets all day long in America for that.
Oh, God.
Nobody seems to be happy. You walk along and everybody.
I know. I said,
you can't tell if they're smiling anyway. You got a mask on.
I walk my dog along the river, and I'm in such a good mood because we're outside. We're in a nature area. We're walking along. People come walking past me. Good morning. How are you doing? I get these people just look. They just look at you. They don't even acknowledge. It's like, wow, you're out in nature. I mean, I understand when you're at the grocery store, maybe you're not in the best mood, or you're at work and you're not in the best mood.
Yeah.
But when you're out, when you're out in public and you're enjoying nature, it always seems like there should just at least be an available smile.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, your dog just, ripped the leash out of your hand and chased a squirrel and made you yell at him.
Or, you're holding the leash and, somebody threw a ball and, it ripped the skin off of you.
Yeah.
You're still nursing that pain.
But it still hurts. But even then, you just kind of have to laugh at the stupidity of it all. So tell us about number 40.
Party pooper. Winnie the Pooh is banned from playgrounds. I was wondering why they spelled it like that.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh banned in playgrounds in Tuzin in Poland. Is that Tuzin?
I don't know.
Because local authorities say Winnie is inappropriate for children because Pooh is half naked. Dun dun dun. The story checks out. It's true. He doesn't have any pants.
But most
neither do any other bears.
I said most cartoons are missing something. They're either wearing a shirt or pants. Cartoon characters never wear a full outfit. They're either wearing a shirt or they're wearing pants. I mean, Yogi the Bear wears a tie. Nothing else.
What about Disney? All those animals are fully clothed.
Well, you got Donald Duck only wears.
He doesn't wear pants.
Yeah, see, you have a lot of times you either have pants or shirts. So I don't know, if children can't handle a bear without pants, you're in a weird world.
Well, not just a bear, a cartoon bear. I mean,
Yeah.
Christopher Robin was fully clothed. I don't know what they're worried
about. In Culinary, France, spinning, oh thank God, was banned in 2009 to stop the spreading of the swine flu. So did they not think of banning spinning back at the plague times?
Yeah, I think they figured it out before the swine flu.
But it must have worked because we're no longer hearing about the swine flu. So
it's kind of interesting. I know that grosses you out.
Spinning should always be banned.
It's interesting because I remember growing up, you'd see it all the time, and now it's kind of like people don't do it.
Oh, I still see it. Kind of runners spit.
Yeah, and it was a big thing for me when I was younger. I mean, you had to.
If I had to, but I wouldn't do it in front. Oh, I just hate that sound. Oh.
Looks like we're to the not here thing.
Not here.
A popular law passed in England prohibits people to die in the House of Parliament. Worst part about this law is there's no way of punishing the criminals who committed it.
Get it?
What? So
we will go for your family.
So who passed a law? Who signed off on that? It's like, come on.
Well, maybe they had people coming in and committing suicide. I don't know. Who would willingly die in the House of Parliament?
Not willingly, but
So in Eboli is a small town in Italy.
Ebola?
It's not Ebola.
I think it's Ebola.
Eboli. It's Eboli, Italy. Kissing in a moving vehicle is banned here. Isn't it everywhere? I mean, that's kind of like, distracted driving. This just makes a lot of sense and has probably saved many lives. Well, yeah, I think it's probably...
As long as it's just kissing.
Well, you can do anything but kiss. We're back to Australia.
Oh my God. I didn't know these things about Australia. In Melbourne, Australia, vacuuming your house, you'll appreciate this. Vacuuming your house between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. during weekdays and 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. during weekends is against the law. Yeah. Who is I've never seen you vacuum between those hours.
I've yet to vacuum after 10 p.m. and definitely not before 7.
People that do crank night vacuum in the middle of the night.
Yeah, night vacuuming has never been my thing. Let's see.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, again, we're back to Melbourne. It's a place where men are.
Hang on a second. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Men are banned from dressing up like a woman. Seems exclusionary and outdated. Well, yeah, I'm sure that's not true. They can't enforce that one because, cross dressing is.
I guess they don't have RuPaul's Drag Race there,
Not in public.
I saw RuPaul's Drag Race. On the first time I saw that, I don't know if it happened to you, but it's. I thought I love drag racing, so it's like on an off. Generally, that happens during the summer and spring, and I'm like, oh, it's a drag race. I put that on, and I thought,
yes,
I was shocked. It wasn't really drag racing.
Yeah, I remember having the same conversation with somebody else.
In Oklahoma, it is against the law to have a sleeping donkey in your bathtub after 7. How often is this happening? Is this required to
You wake that donkey up. You wake that donkey up at 6:59. Get out of the tub.
In your bathroom after 7 p.m. So there's a lot of donkeys sleeping in the bathtub in Oklahoma.
It's Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, please check in. We don't have a ton of listeners in Oklahoma, but check in. I'm curious about that law.
In the Russian city of Chelyabinsk, driving a dirty car driving a dirty car is against the law. You will have to face fines if you break this law. Oh, Lord. My car has dog spit down the side of it because Max
Isn't it just nostril stuff? It's not really spit, is it?
It's coming from his mouth. No, he hangs his head out the window when I drive and pants, and there's spit all along the side of the car.
Shall we get that washed?
Now
you've grossed out half the listeners.
He's set up for another month of dog training. So.
Is it going to help?
Yes, I'm determined to train this dog.
Then we have the potty poopa.
It's Switzerland. It's not Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It is not a tuma.
It's not. It's Switzerland. Jesus, Bill's going to hit you.
Flushing the toilet after 10 p.m. in an apartment building is illegal. The Swiss government considers it noise pollution. Okay, again.
Hey, when we were in Vegas, we couldn't flush the toilet after 10 because they turned off our water.
But they didn't turn it off. They said they were going to turn it off. And it smelled like sewage. And, we're just going to do a negative review of Caesar's Palace. You thought you're at the top of the line, going to Caesar's Palace, and probably never gonna stay there again,
In Turin, Italy, dogs must be walked at least 3 times a day. Did you know that?
They would love that here.
I'm telling you, we have an old dog that would say no. Annabelle does not want to walk 3 times a day.
Your dog's 14 years old. Well, you can walk it. You just have to don't have to walk it very far.
We walk her out to the backyard. She pees on the grass that she gets to first and then trots her at the back into the house.
But at least she does that. She's not cutting loose inside the house.
Nope, she's a good girl. She waits to go outside, but man, sometimes she barely makes it to that spot. Sucks getting old.
And this said alien. I got all excited.
I
was like, "Oh, alien! We're on track. We're on track."
There's no alien.
Visitors of North Korea are not allowed to use North Korean currency, and they are not allowed to enter into the city's department stores.
No, I don't think you're allowed to walk North Korea alone. I don't think they.
Tell us about the story that you heard about the cities.
That they have fake cities set up for when they bring visitors in.
They're just fake, so they look
they're set up. It'd be like a model area that they bring visitors to. I don't know. Maybe is that where Dennis Rodman goes? Because he likes to hang out there. Yeah. Can you imagine what they think of him?
He's he's twice as size.
It's just because they're such a repressed. He's this, the man wore a wedding dress and has, it just must be so bizarre to them to see somebody who can live that kind of life. But there's Rogan with a girl who escaped from North Korea. It's a horrific story.
I haven't listened to that episode.
I'm partway through it, and it's very good. In Scotland, if someone, did I skip something? What's
Fitspo?
I said Fitspo. I'm sorry.
How can you miss Fitspo?
I want to know what Fitspo means. In January 2008, Japan passed the Metabo law to curb obesity. The law requires men and women between the ages of 45 and 74 to have their waistlines examined once a year and seek medical treatment if they're too fat. My God, that would be busy.
How fat's too fat?
Oh,
I mean, how fat is too fat?
if you could pinch an inch, remember?
Yeah, pinch
remember
an
those
inch.
commercials?
Yeah,
Can you
pinch
pinch an inch? It did not, however, make obesity a criminal offense, as many viral articles have suggested. No, they're just going to shame you and make you feel, just make you feel like a big old fat. Yeah, God, just somebody poking at your belly. Too fat. Too fat.
Yeah. Is that your accent?
That's as close as I'm going to come. It's wrong to mock other people's accents.
That's you're going to get a call on that one. In Scotland, if someone knocks on your door and requires the use of your toilet, you must let them enter. It's best to not answer the door in Scotland unless you're expecting someone, right?
Yeah, do not. No, I'm not bringing strangers into my toilet.
Yeah.
I had.
So nobody answers the door unless they know.
We had during COVID.
Oh yeah.
The fun of having somebody come in and want to use our bathroom when everybody told you couldn't let anybody.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody touch anything. Don't touch anything that anybody's touching. We have somebody come in to do some work, goes into our toilet and stayed there for 20 minutes. Oh, I just knew I was gonna get COVID and die. Decency. In Singapore, if you move around the house naked without closing the blinds, you can be arrested. And no, being hot doesn't make it any less illegal.
Not less illegal, but more tolerant.
Well, yeah, you're probably less likely to get reported.
Yeah, if you look good. If I go to the window, I'm slapping the cuffs on.
Well, I know some for sale signs around the neighborhood, so.
And bear with me. Bear wrestling is illegal in Alabama. And with good reason. Yeah. I think the reason is you don't want to get killed trying to wrestle a bear. But as we're sure the Bears were winning every match, we always knew wrestling was rigged.
And it's even worse because those bears don't wear pants.
No, the Bears aren't wearing pants.
Okay, I guess we're all about the naked here. And put some clothes on. In Devon, Texas, it is against the law to make furniture while you are nude. We're not sure if this extends to IKEA furniture as well. Best to be safe and only make furniture fully clothed in Devon. I have yet to want to build something naked, but
if you actually build it, you're using saws and.
Sometimes you just need pockets.
Sometimes you need pockets. Sometimes you don't want things to get cut off when you're.
No. Power tools and naked do not go
they don't
together.
they don't go together. Absolutely. Then there's the trickster. In Pennsylvania, it's against the law to tie a dollar bill on a string on the ground and pull it away when someone tries to pick it up.
But that's just good plain fun,
Have you ever done it?
No.
Have you done the thing where you glued the quarter to the ground and somebody tried to pick it up?
No, I have not. No, that's not funny either.
I've seen that happen. That's actually pretty funny.
Really?
I had a friend who had a barbershop in Hayward, and it's like one of those old school. I mean, people walking. It was like walking all the time, back and forth. Lots of foot traffic, and glued a quarter to the ground. It was kind of funny watching the people trying to pick it up. But that'd be good video now. Huh?
Let me see. Underwear in Thailand, you can't leave your house if you're not wearing underwear. But then how would anyone know? Depends on what you're wearing and if you fall down.
It's you have to figure it out yourself. You have to rest yourself if you don't have. I don't know.
Your mother always tells you never leave the house and without clean underwear because you never know.
If you get in an accident, you don't want them. Don't want that scraggly underwear. Wow, that's crazy! Surprise! In Samoa, it's illegal to forget your wife's birthday. This is even more helpful than crazy, really.
Well, yeah. You can get in big trouble.
Yeah, you should just remember your wife's birthday.
That's just a polite thing to do. And in Los Angeles, in California, it's illegal for a waiter to tell a customer, I'm really an actor. Act your way out of this one, criminal. Because in LA, everybody's an actor.
Everybody. Well, that's what you do that's the job you get when you're working your way up through.
Trying to get jobs as an actor, yeah.
You ever realize how many good-looking people are in Los Angeles?
Oh my God, I know that's a, you think that they're, we're good-looking people would be rare, but when you go to LA, it's like everybody's perfect.
Well, there's a reason. They say that back in the day, way back in the day, when everybody was coming out to be actors and actresses, they were all, pretty.
Right.
And
then they
made more pretty people. I mean, that's not. I heard that and I went, that makes a marginal amount of sense. I mean, I guess,
Well, I mean, but you realize we're changing. If you notice what's on television now, the perfect people, we're actually going from the perfect people being on your TV screen to actual
people that
people
are
that look like
regular
us.
people look like us. Yeah.
It's
not so thin.
It's a big difference when you
not
see
so hot.
Yeah, when you see actual normal people on television, it's bizarre, but it's a nice thing. But
yeah. Then there's bluffing. In Texas, it's illegal to threaten somebody with an unloaded gun. Lock and load, people.
Just keep that gun loaded at all times.
Well, it's good.
It's stupid in Texas to threaten somebody with an unloaded gun because they're
everybody's
probably
got guns.
A loaded one.
Everybody's got guns in Texas, and it's. Well, my dad always told me, don't pull a gun unless you're ready to shoot.
That's right.
Don't bluff because.
The other guy might have a bigger gun.
Yeah, and my dad was one of my dad's rules. One of Bob's rules. Bob's rules. Don't. I should do a segment on Bobisms and Bob's rules.
Oh, then your kids. Your kids could do some Dougisms.
Yeah, there's a lot of Dougisms.
That would be
also
fun too. That goes both ways.
After I'm dead, you guys should be. Yeah.
Maybe the four of you could go all in and get in a room and have a conversation about that. I would love to see all four of you.
Oh God, just the four of us in one room.
Yeah, it's happened once. In Kentucky, this one makes no sense. In Kentucky, it's illegal to carry an ice cream cone in your pocket. Who the hell would do that?
What? Yeah. At what point did this happen? So usually when something happens often enough, or it hurts, or kills or maims people enough, they make laws. Oh, you can't do this.
Well, but it would be a great waste of ice cream cones, and nobody should ever waste ice cream cones. But why would you put one in your pocket? How would you fit one in your? Maybe their pants are not as tight as mine. They can fit things in their pockets.
The MGM Lion. In Baltimore, Maryland, taking a lion to the cinema is illegal. Why do so many Baltimore residents own lions? Is there a lot of lion ownage in
taking a lion to the cinema? I don't know. Maybe in Maryland people like to have pet tigers. I don't know.
Oh, that's bizarre.
But either way, no pets in the cinema.
Baltimore's where that crazy cereal thing I was listening.
Oh,
and what was his name? Animal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the kid that we're trying to figure out if he really killed that girl or not. They never. Oh, they had an update to that. Well, we'll talk about it later.
In Texas, if you're going to commit a crime, you legally have to give 24 hours notice to the police, either orally or in written form. There's no way this is successful. Yeah, I wonder who thought that they could convince people to do that. There will be somebody stupid enough to go, I'm going to rob a bank tomorrow. I just have to let you know because I saw it's the law.
Yeah, that's bizarre. And then now you're arrested because now you told somebody about it. So that's kind of weird. Dental plan in Providence, Rhode Island, selling toothpaste and a toothbrush to the same customer on a Sunday is illegal. Make sure you stock up on your dental products on Saturday when it's safe, or make multiple trips on Sunday. Your choice.
I can see outside I'm buying a toothbrush. Dude, I'm going to give you $5. I need you to go and buy me some toothpaste. Because I can't have both.
What would perpetuate a law like this?
It's almost like it's like a moral thing of if you needed to buy a toothbrush and a toothpaste, you're going to go spend the night with somebody you're not supposed to. I don't know. It's weird. It's like, is that a moral thing? Is that... Because really the things go together. You can even buy a toothbrush that comes with a little tube of toothpaste. I guess those are illegal there.
Those little the travel packs aren't. Is that considered?
And they lock that up on Sundays.
And they can't. Yeah, you can't sell that.
That's so weird.
Well, here we are, good old California.
Oh, in Chico, This one's good. The law states that anybody who detonates a nuclear device within the city limits is liable to a fine of $500. Chico must be really cheap to rebuild. Well, they've got all those college students, so you can, that is so funny. Why? And within the city limits, what if you go out to the edge of the city? You can just detonate all you want. No fine. And no jail. Doesn't say jail.
Well, you got to be outside the city.
Maybe that's, it's probably from the college. Those little engineer kids decided they were going to make some bombs.
Yeah, that's probably why, because Chico's a big tech school.
Yes, it is.
Big game. In British Columbia, it is illegal to kill a Sasquatch or Bigfoot if one is ever found. Just in case one is found, we wouldn't want it to get killed.
Well, so in America, we don't do that. You have to go to Canada to be safe if you're a Sasquatch. I wonder if our laws here make it legal to kill the poor thing.
We did a huge segment on Bigfoot. We call it Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever they call it. It's, Yeti is like the
Asian.
the Mount Everest or wherever they are. I'm still curious. I'm still hugely curious about, I believe, what do you think is more likely, Bigfoot or aliens?
Aliens.
You think it's more likely that
Well,
aliens?
there has to be other galaxies and other, planets that have life.
Don't you think Bigfoot could be an alien coming from another dimension?
We
could go off on this for hours.
We have been over that. But either way, whatever he is, if he's living here, we've in America, we've uncovered pretty much all of the wilderness. There's not a whole lot that hasn't been explored.
There's a lot of there's a lot. It doesn't seem like it, but there is a lot of forest out there that we.
Then that's where he is.
It's kind of like the bottom of the ocean. We don't really, we're going to other planets, but
poor things being hunted on a daily basis.
Yeah, we should be focusing on going to in my opinion, bottom to the ocean if we want to get away from. Because what is it, 75% water? It's some huge amount. And why don't we just go to the bottom of the ocean to live? Yeah, it is scary and it's weird. You're in this little thing. And
oh, no.
Yeah, can you imagine? But, you see all those science fiction movies and cartoons and things where there's these giant dome cities. And it seems like we could, but I don't know. Let me see. Okay, what's the next one?
The next one is, this one's important. You cannot fish while sitting on a giraffe's neck in Chicago. Luckily, you'll be hard-pressed to find a giraffe in Chicago, and to get him to a lake so that you could do some fishing would be even harder. But it would be convenient because you could go all the way in the lake and sit on the giraffe, and it's like having a boat.
I don't know. That's kind of weird, though. Where did that come from? Was there a lot of giraffes before?
I don't know. Maybe somebody stole one from the zoo, fished.
So they made it a law after one incident. That would be so typical.
As opposed to just assuming it ain't going to happen again.
In 7 U.S. states, according to their constitutions, atheists are barred from holding public office. You better believe it. What funny. 7 U.S. states might that be?
I don't know. You should have looked it up.
I didn't look it up, and I'm telling you, California isn't one of them.
It's the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
That's, where the people where it's important that you be Christian. Since 1986, U.S. authorities have had the legal right to access any email that's 180 days old without a warrant.
Yikes. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, but I don't really send an email. I've always lived, your personal emails are your personal emails, but I've always I've always assumed somebody else is going to see this.
Anything in writing can be seen.
Yeah, I don't really do a lot of things in writing that are going to be problematic for me later.
How many texts have we sent to the wrong person?
Yeah, I've done that. I know. I texts or emails to the wrong person. That's typical. Like I do at work, I accidentally send it to somebody else with your same name, and it's very tolerant. Nice. Luckily, nothing's ever been risque.
On the work email, that'd be good.
It's all good. I always apologize. I always say the same thing. It's all good.
It's fine.
She's probably thinking, these guys, what the hell? So, time travel in Saudi Arabia, it is illegal for any woman to drive a car. As of 2015, women were given the right to vote in Saudi Arabia. Did we just do this one?
We did that one, yeah. They said it actually isn't illegal for the woman to drive a car.
Yeah, they said they don't give licenses.
Yeah, they just don't give licenses to women.
Yeah.
So either way, she's not allowed.
It's not legally. They're not. but they are becoming a little more progressive, I think. I'm
They're
hoping.
working on it.
They understand that.
In Dubai, extramarital sex is against the law and can result in jail sentences for over a year.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can think of with this one is if you have extramarital sex and your other partner finds out, then they report you.
Yeah, that's the way it's gonna.
That's probably the way.
That's how it's gonna be found out. Oh yeah. Or just a bitchy neighbor.
Yeah, if you're making too much
what
noise.
You did.
Yeah, Gladys Kravitz will will report you. Don't get me angry. In the Philippines, you can be charged with the crime of unjust vexation for doing just that, vexing someone.
Don't vex me.
Yes. It is as vague and arbitrary as it sounds. Also, what's justified? Now, isn't that a curse? A vex? Isn't that what you said? It was anger.
No, it's just annoyance. It's if you vex somebody, it just means you upset them, you frustrate them.
Really?
Yeah. So really, every time I drive a car, I am a victim of unjust vexation.
Every time you get behind the wheel.
Every time I go out in public, I'm a victim of unjust.
Oh, you're
vexation.
a victim. If you're not.
I am a victim.
Oh, you are a victim.
I'm a victim. I don't vex.
You're a vexee.
Yes.
You're vexee. You're not a vexer.
No, I would never. I'm just going through life trying to stay out of everyone's way. In Thailand, it is illegal to step on money. And that's okay, because we'd rather pick it up anyway.
Yeah, if you step on it, you're only like, oh.
Well, it isn't. I mean, don't we have laws here like it's illegal to destroy or mutilate currency?
Yeah, you can't mutilate currency.
Right. So it's kind of the same thing. I mean, we're not.
Who wants to do that though? I mean, it's like unless you're on drugs or something.
Step on a dollar bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then let me see.
You're in
in Arkansas. There still exists a law that was instated in the 1800s. It states a husband is allowed, this is one of my favorite ones, to beat his wife, but only once a month.
Only once a month.
And clearly a relic of a bygone era, but still.
And missed so greatly.
Well, like I was saying before, it's like, okay, I would have to do a calendar invite to myself on the day that
it's beating day.
Well, just in case you don't accidentally go twice.
It's beating day. Yeah, because you go twice, then you're gonna get arrested.
Well, I think it's more like wait till the beating is. I don't want to say justified, but you
justified. Yeah,
that's it. You feel it's justified, and then you got to make. Then you'll have to make a note on the calendar.
Go put on.
Okay, I already did my July beating, so I'm gonna have to wait till August till I do another one.
Yeah, then you put on your wife beater, drink a couple beers, get all in the mood.
Stained white beater, not just a white. You look too good if it's all white.
Get in the mood.
It's got to be stained.
Got to get yourself
with some oil, like you're working on your car.
Got to get yourself. Well, it's got to have those sweat stains in the armpits. That's the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
is awesome.
In Arizona, well, maybe this is part of this, the wife beating thing. In Arizona, having more than 2 vibrators in your home is illegal. If you own more than 2 in your house, you can be subject to criminal possession. And we won't tell if you don't.
What do you got to say about this, Deb?
This is the nightstand law.
The nightstand.
Just don't look in the nightstand. You'll never know.
Well, it's understood. 2 vibrators, 2. It does make them more. It's like, okay, well, if you get more than 2, what are you doing?
Back up.
In Massachusetts, a strange law makes it illegal for couples to have sex while the woman is on top. This show is degraded to this. I'm sorry, this is child friendly, and we don't want to get too close to ugly on this one. I'd like kids to be able to listen.
Well, see, but they're all the last 5 are all just.
Yeah,
nasty.
Bam.
In North Carolina, couples are technically only allowed to have sex while in the missionary position and with the curtains pulled. Most people prefer that you pull the curtains.
Yeah, well, who wants to look at that?
Note, I like this. Note, all of these laws banning certain types of consensual intimacy are largely unenforceable.
Or they're enforceable, but nobody chooses
to enforce them. Do what you want, people. I get the curtains pulled, good plan.
Yeah.
Curtains pulled, It's like the one where you have to, you can't be naked in your house without the curtains pulled. That's a good law.
Yeah.
Or, rule of thumb, as they say.
Yeah, no doubt. And then we've got, we've got the final one, which is golden showers.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me read this, aren't you?
It's your turn.
In Champagne, France, you can't pee in your neighbor's mouth. Finally, a law that prevents this.
Yeah, I think there's a law that prevents this. Your neighbor will beat the shit out of you if you try. It's just not something that people are going to allow. So that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. We'll be getting back to Deb's. I think we're going to, if Bill is not back from overseas next week, he'll be joining me again. I think we're going to be talking about the dark-eyed children.
Dark-eyed children, black-eyed children.
Yeah, we'll be discussing that. It's a black-eyed, the BECs.
Yes.
Is it the BECs, black-eyed children? And we're still, Bill and I are still trying to trudge our way through the report on unidentified flying objects. The history of Project Blue, well, as told by Edward J. Ruppelt, the history of UFO investigations by Blue Book and Ed Ruppelt. Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Alien Probe podcast. Thanks for joining me, Deb, by the way.
Thank you, Doug. That was fun.
Ask you. We welcome comments, questions, or requests to alienprobepodcast@gmail.com. Visit us on Facebook at alienprobe.net, Twitter at alienprobepod, and on YouTube we have 38,000 views. We're not video yet. We are working toward that. You'll be able to see what we really look like while we're doing this, and it should be a lot of fun. Thanks to our senior producer, Robert Anthony, and we'll see you next time.